Hello everyone and welcome back to the studio here in Northumberland. It's spring and it's a lovely sunny day. And to celebrate that, I'm going to do a lovely sunny acrylic painting on canvas. And all I've done here is pre-stain the canvas, which is now dried, in raw sienna. Just let it dry, just whack it on, let it dry. And now, before I do any drawing, I'm going to do the sky. And I do the sky first in acrylics because if you do a drawing in watercolour, when you put the sky on, you can still see the drawing. In acrylics, you're not going to be able to see the drawing because it will be covered up by paint. So, to save you the trouble of having to go round bits, like trees and things like that, stick the sky on first and then put the drawing on top. Makes perfect sense to me. But then again, it would. Now, time for some paint. Stay wet palette. These, I mean, as ever, mine's a mess. I'm always messy. But these, we've got them in two sizes. This one is the large Dale Aroundy one, the one that I use, and you've got plenty of space, as you can see. But I've just squeezed out some more burnt sienna and some more raw sienna. The rest, that's been in there for about a month, I would say, about a month. And if you look at that Naples yellow there, look. I'll just touch it. See? Nice and ready to paint with. And that's been there at least a month. And all it is, you've got a filament of paper on the bottom there, which you wet. Then you put that filament of paper on top, squeeze your paint on there. Then when you finish at the end of the day, put the lid back on and it'll keep it until it goes mouldy. That's the only time when I change the paper, really, when it starts to go mouldy. Sometimes it can be on the go for 3 months, easily. Right, time for some paint. And I'm going to start off with my big wash brush, 1.5 inch brush, and just a little bit of water in there. I'll wipe it on my small. A little bit of water in there, and I've got cobalt blue and titanium white. Lots of titanium white. There. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is the picture I'm doing.
Wondered when you'd get round to that.
Oh, thank you, Gail. Well, why didn't you say something?
I was going to say it when I stopped filming.
Of course you were.
Might have had to put a little clip in.
She who shall be obeyed. Always. Now, cobalt blue. And I'm going to make, it doesn't look terribly inspiring there, but I'm going to put a lot more light into it. And make it into a lovely, yummy painting. Like that. And just push the brush, when you're working on canvas, push the brush into the canvas so that you're filling, you're not getting that. See what I mean? Just fill it in. And there. And now, as I come further down, I'm going to add more white into the mix. Like so. And the reason why I'm doing this one, why I picked this one, is because you've got some distant to middle distance hills there. And she who shall be obeyed said I should be doing a painting where I can show shadow on the hills.
Cloud shadow.
Cloud shadow. Oh, sorry. There you go, you see.
I'm just looking after your views for you.
Yeah. And I have Gail's permission to say so. And again, more white. So now, it's getting very light at the bottom there. And I think that's about far enough down as well, actually. The brush I'm using, 1.5 inch flat, and it's an aquafine brush, a watercolour brush. As you remember when you see me watercolour painting, it's the same brush, 1.5 inch flat aquafine brush, which, strictly speaking, is a watercolour brush. But these are good and sturdy, and you can give them plenty of abuse, and they'll take the acrylics just as well as the watercolours. Now, just white, like that, like so. Build it up a bit more here. Now, a little bit of that cobalt blue and white mixer I've got there. I'm just going to add a tiny touch of Payne's Grey to that. There. In there like that. Not like that, just like that. Put that in there as well, look. So that I'm painting in cloud shadows. Not shadows from clouds, Gail.
Yes.
Cloud shadow.
Not to be confused with the shadow
Not to be
cast by the
confused.
cloud
Yes,
on the ground.
which is what you want, isn't
Which
it?
is what I want.
Yes. Now, get in there with my finger and roll it. And all I'm doing is just roll with my finger, look. Create some fluffy bits to the top of the clouds. Fluffy bits. Oh, isn't that cute, girl? Now, take the grey up into the white. So that I've got shadows in the clouds. Very, very simple. And don't be afraid of getting your hands dirty. It's only paint, it will wash off. Unlike my smocks, isn't it, Gal?
Yes. Nothing washes out of them.
And you've got, if you've put it on thick enough, you've got plenty of time to play with it. That doesn't mean spend the day on doing the sky. Easy, isn't it?
Simples.
Hmm?
Simples.
Simples.com. And that's a very easy way of doing a sky on canvas with acrylics. It also works in oils as well, by the way. Do I need some more white in there, Gail?
Possibly. A little bit.
I'll tell you
I
what,
like a touch of white.
I'll make an executive decision, and I am going to do it.
You know I always like a touch of extra white in a cloud.
Yes. I've just changed my 3/4 inch wash. Again, aquafine. A bit more white there, look. A bit more there.
Lovely.
Do you like that now,
I
Gail?
like that.
And again, soften it in, just at the bottom there, look. Yes, I was right, Gail, wasn't I?
You were right.
Are we surprised?
Oh,
Really? Sure.
we're on camera.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Tell you later.
There. And a little bit there. And now, that just needs about 5 minutes to dry, and then I'll do the drawing. Because acrylics, it dries fairly quickly as well. It's not like waiting for an oil painting to dry. There. Okay, we're now at a stage where I can do the drawing. It's still quite wet, but it's not as wet as when I put it on. You can see it glistening, so it's still wet. But I can get the drawing done now. Starting off over here, the distant hilly bits. Oh, Gail, the noise of that pencil on the canvas.
Just fast forward if you don't like it.
Yes, fast forward if you don't like it. Do as Gail said. A few bushy bits on top of that. Or better off, don't switch it off if you don't like the sound of the pencil. Just don't watch it all, because you're obviously some kind of a whinger.
You can't say that.
Can't I? I just did. It's funny how people can say anything they want to me on here. If you're in the public eye in any way, shape or form, people think they can say whatever they want to you, but you're not allowed to answer back. No, that doesn't work for me. Now, I'm going to kind of draw in some field marks marks field lines. And the reason why I'm drawing these in here now is so that I can see where I'm going to put the different colours. To that. The pencil I'm using, of course, this one's IKEA, I think. Yes, IKEA. Yes. Only the best grade of pencils for me, obviously. A few bits there, a few bits there. And then I've got some bigger trees there. You can see those there, girl.
Oh, yes.
And now I've got a hedge line going down here. You see that, girl? Getting a little bit bigger now. And we'll have that disappear about there. And likewise over here, I've got a lot of trees going on over here. And they come up above that distance line. Trees. And because I took this in winter, I'm going to change the season. I'm going to make everything in full foliage. And that load of trees there goes and disappears about there. You see that line there, girl? Right. And disappear about there. And then I've got a field in here. Now, a few fence posts. I'll just have 3 there. Got a gap there for the gate. And as you can see in here, the gate's closed. Don't have the gate closed. Have the gate open. That's an invitation into the picture, rather than closing it off. There. What I'm going to do here, have some more bushy bits there again. Of course I don't want too many posts.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I see where you're coming from.
You see where I'm coming from here. And there, just in the entrance to the gate, we've got a muddy bit. I know because I walked through it. Here, we've got a big tree. And you can see I'm scoring into the paint there. You can see how wet that still is. I'm scoring into the paint. And as long as I've got a mark to see, that's all I'm bothered about. Actually, it's quite nice. That looks like a ghost tree. Doesn't it? Gail,
It does.
Speak to me.
It does.
I didn't say agree with me, but you can speak to me.
Ah, okay. I was just hoping you didn't go over my favourite bit of cloud.
Okay. And of course you like that bit, don't you?
I like that.
I like that. There, that'll do for that. There's going to be more in that tree, but I'll just do that with the paintbrush. Drawing done. Now, straight in with the paint. I'm starting off in the distance, as always. And my 3/4 inch brush will do quite a lot of this now. I'm starting off with a little bit of, just check, painted the photograph, a little bit of raw sienna. And that's going in there. Bit of that. And I'm keeping the field lines more or less faithful to what they are on the photograph. Because Rob, my mate, might see this and it's his field. Bit of that there. And now, tiny touch of Hooker's green into the raw sienna and bring that down there like so. You notice I'm curving the brush around there slightly. Mm-hmm. You see that, girl? See that. Because your brush strokes will help you to show how the land lies, how the land flows, which way is it going. Now, because this paint's not too strong, I can still see my drawing there, which is good. And now a little bit of Naples yellow. Let's brighten the whole thing up now. With that. Oh, it's such a lovely colour, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I'm not putting it everywhere, just a few touches here and there. And now a little bit of Naples yellow over here as well.
Did we say that was the happy colour?
It is a happy colour, actually. Naples yellow is my happy place, Gail. That, and with a plate of food in front of me. And now, again, Hooker's green and raw sienna. I use Hooker's green in acrylics just like I do in watercolours. Bit of that touch of Hooker's green there. We'll have that there. Again, around my posts. If you're using a flat brush, sharp edge brush, look, it's easy enough to go around bits. And a 3/4 inch flat is such a lovely size, lovely brush. And all the way across there. Now, a couple of touches of that, just here and there. See what difference that makes, Gail? Isn't that lump yummy? You might eat. Now, clean that brush. What I'm going to do is soften here and there and merge a little bit. And that's all just giving a little bit of interest into the distance without going bonkers with detail. Yeah, I'll do the hedges and those bushy bits next. And I'm going to change to my number 8 round brush for that. And this time I've got Hooker's green and burnt sienna. Remember last time I used raw sienna. This time burnt sienna. So it's slightly darker. Not enough burnt sienna. It's a bit too green, is that neat, girl?
It's a bit.
So why didn't you say so before?
Hooker's greeny.
Bit of Hooker's greeny, you're right. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you. A few touches. That was my stomach rumbling, girl. I'm being fed.
What do you call the bacon butty you've just had?
What do you mean bacon butty? I'm vegetarian. Bit more of that. Now, just where it's coming down onto the field there, look. Stroke across there.
Genius.
Genius. The stroke of genius.
Mm-hmm.
Bit more here. And I'm with the number 8 round brush, I'm just dabbing on, look. It's a few lumps and bumps. At that kind of distance, you don't need to see leaves. It's and I say that in jest, but it's amazing how many times I've seen people go to a small brush for painting trees and go into so much detail, even though it's a long way off. You don't need it. And again, pretty straight across my finger there, look. There. Now, some field lines. There. There's some bushy bits there. Like so. And this is still hooker screen and burnt sienna, and some bushy bits there. There's a field line, hedge. More paint. Just with the tip of my round brush, look, bring that down. All that. And on there, I've got some bigger trees. And here, I've got those bigger ones there. And then draw down a few sticks. All with a number 8 round. This number 8, perfect size. Because you can get a nice, sharp, fine point with using the tip of the brush. But also you've got lots of coverage if you just dab on. Perfect size. And there, that's the distance done. Now it's time for these bigger bushy bits either side here. And again, still with a number 8 round. And I'm going in with I'm going to have 2 tones of green in this lot. Hooker's green and raw sienna to start with. There. Doesn't really show that much there, but it will. Come to the other side of the tree. And I'm not filling them all in with that, just bits here and there. And now over to the other side, and much the same. There. Bit more raw sienna. And just blob, blob, blob. Blob, blob, blob. That's a new technical term, that, yeah?
Good catch on.
Doubt it. And that post, easy enough to go around. Now, hooker's green and burnt sienna. And bearing in mind, I think that hooker's green probably been squeezed in there for about 2 weeks. And you know what acrylics are like, they dry out immediately on your palette or your plate or whatever you're using. And you waste a lot of paint. With a stay wet palette, you're not going to waste paint there. Now, I'm leaving a few bits of the first colour I put on showing through. And the light in this one is going to be coming from the left, by the way. More bits there. And again, leave some of the undercolour showing through. Acrylics are such a lovely medium. They're so forgiving. Because if you make a real bad mistake, just cover it up. If it goes totally wrong, paint the whole canvas in white, let it dry, and then start again. I love acrylics. I think I might have said that once or twice, so you go. But I do. Now, some of that as well.
They're just yummy, aren't they?
They are yummy. And this System 3 acrylics, obviously everything I use is Daler Rowney. And their System 3 acrylics, they're just supreme. I love them. Really creamy consistency. Yeah, that's the one. And they flow beautifully. And when you think that they're about, what, £2.70 a tube? They're for nothing. Beautiful things. Now you can see this lot is starting to come further forward just because of strength of colour. And size, obviously. They are bigger. And at this stage, don't be afraid of leaving your pre-stain showing through as well. Well, you can see bits of raw sienna showing through the pre-stain. Now, a little bit of Payne's grey, mainly into this side of this clump of tree bushes coming down, because that's going to be the dark side, isn't it? Because the light's coming from the left. So there's my Payne's grey. And we'll have some of that down here, look, there, nice and dark. Still with the number 8 round brush. That's that. And now a little bit of that over here as well, but not as much of it, just a few bits in what would be dark areas of the clump of trees. A few bits there. And a few bits down the bottom. Looking alright, isn't it, girl?
It is. Coming alive.
That's the right answer, girl. Now, this is what really lifts everything. Naples yellow again. Making sure I get my brush nice and clean. There. Naples yellow. And a few bits of that on the top bits here, look. Just dabbing on. Like so. Now a few bits down here. There's a little bit more Naples yellow in this side because the light's going to hit this here. And a couple of bits there. Now some of those are just big clumps of Naples yellow, and that's fine. Because now what I'm going to do, squash some lumps. Squash some lumps, another technical term. Now they become trees with light on. Don't they, Gail?
They do.
Thank you. And do the same over here. But I'm not dragging that Naples yellow further down into that. Just leave it on the top. There. Now, just before I leave it for a few minutes to dry, so I can put my hands on it, again, raw sienna and hooker's green. And I'm just going to fill in that field there behind the fence posts. Hooker's green, raw sienna, and just pop that on there, look. Going up towards there, and because I haven't got the paint too strong, I can still see the drawing through it, you see. And then, very quickly, we're into foreground. A little bit of Naples yellow now. 3/4 inch brush. Just a few touches here and there. A little bit stronger just there. Yeah, that's okay. And then, once that's dried, we're into foreground. Come on, sausage boy. Big smile on your face. Yes. Yes.
Come see the painting. Oh, you come to see the painting, please.
There, that's dried enough so I can get my hands on it. There's only about 5 minutes I left that to dry, that section there. In which time you saw the boys, because they can't be left out for too long. Now, no, I won't do that yet. I'm going to do this big tree first. I've changed my mind, gal. And I'm starting off dark, Payne's grey. And this is again the beauty of acrylics. You can paint dark on top of light. And with the tip of my number 8 brown, come down. Like so. You see what I mean about putting my hand on it now, gal?
Careful.
I've picked up the wrong colour here. I've picked up deep violet. You can see that, can't you? Major mistake. What a cake it is. Let's go over the top of it. Look. That was a deliberate mistake to show the viewers, girl.
Ah, I see. Had me fooled.
Did I? Okay. Won't be a bloody first. Am I allowed to say bloody?
I think so.
I just did. And come down here now.
You're being a right little rebel today, aren't you?
Yeah, won't I? I might need wine.
For lunch.
It's still lunchtime.
Mid-afternoon. Not 5 o'clock yet.
It is somewhere. It is a bank holiday weekend, don't forget.
Well, that's true.
For whichever time you have to be watching this, at the time they're not actually painting it, it's Easter weekend. Going down that. Oops, got a big clump there again. And you don't need to be too precise about this, because remember, like I said earlier, this is going to be in full foliage. And hopefully we're not going to lose Gail's favourite cloud. I think what I meant was, definitely we won't lose Gail's favourite cloud.
You don't want to waste that cloud, it's lovely.
That would be me, a big bother. I'm more bothered about my safety than the clouds, to be honest. Go down here.
Those inextricably linked, I'm afraid.
Okay. Inextricably. Big word.
I know.
You'd be saying grass next again.
Certainly not.
And that bit of path. Okie dokie.
I wouldn't say that. I'm from Manchester.
Yeah. Say no more.
Path and grass.
Now, a big dark tree. Now to put some light into it. And anybody watching, I shall give you 3 guesses. No, I'll give you 1 guess. What colour the light is going to be. Naples yellow, of course. Clean my brush out first. And some good, thick, strong Naples yellow there. I'll have that in here. Start off with that. Just going down the left-hand side with that, look. Because like I said, the light's coming from the left. And bring it down there. I so love this colour. But you've got to be very careful because otherwise it is such an effective kind of lightning areas. If you're not careful, the Naples yellow can take over because you put too much on. So be careful with it. Because it is a strong colour as well. And a few bits here. Now, just with my finger, look. Slow it down. See what a difference that makes. Look. And again, slow it down again. This, of course, is digital art. The old ones are the best I get.
Well, you always keep up with the times, don't you?
Mm-hmm. There, now I've got light on my tree trunk.
You'll be doing a virtual reality art soon.
No, I won't. Now, for foliage on that. And because I'm going to do foliage on the biggest tree, it's very close to that one. This is the stage when you would go to your smallest brush and paint leaves. Don't go there, really, just don't go there. Because the minute you do that, you're just going to make that take over from everything else, because there's too much detail in it. Stick with a big brush. Again, hooker's green. And quite a bit of burnt sienna into this stuff. There. And all I'm doing with my 3/4 inch brush, look, is tap on. Like so. Dabbing. I'm being careful of that cloud, gal.
The masterpiece, that cloud.
At no point am I painting leaves. And remember to leave gaps in the foliage as well. Don't fill it all in. Otherwise the bird won't be able to fly through. That's an old one, isn't it?
It is, but very effective. I remember that one.
You do?
Oh, I've said it often enough, but...
Excuse me?
But I remember you saying it years ago and it stuck with me when I do trees.
Good. People say that have been on courses and things, everything I do afterwards, I'm hearing your voice, don't do that, don't fiddle, don't this. Am I that strict?
Yes.
Okay. No, that's like that. Here as well. There. Now, some dark paint spray. Bit of paint spray. I'll make sure I get the right one this time. And we'll have a few bits of that over here. At the base of clumps, but also mainly to the right of the tree. Just paint spray that. Like I say, in watercolours, I hate paint spray. In acrylics, it's a fabulous colour for mixing various darks. You get a nice black with paint spray and burnt sienna mixed. Now, Naples yellow. This time, what I'm going to do with the Naples yellow is I'm going to split my brush. My 3/4 inch brush again. Look, I'm going to split it there, like so, and then go into the paint like that, Naples yellow. Made a mess of that brush, but it'll go straight back to shape when I'm finished. There. How's that, girl?
Beautiful.
Big tree done.
No clouds were harmed.
No clouds were harmed in the making of this tree. Now, as I said, this painting really, because Gail said so, is about the shadow cast from clouds. Because clouds cast shadow as well. You know, it doesn't have to be a physical thing, like a tree or a post to cast clouds. To cast shadows, sorry. Clouds will cast them as well. And what I've got here, look, is a little bit of deep violet there, and a touch of cobalt blue there, and now, Payne's grey. Now, a little bit of water into that. These clouds here will cast a shadow on the hills there. Now, once I've put that mark on, now just with a clean damp brush, soften it and move it. Like so. And again, move it here. A little bit from there as well. And a little bit down there. Is that what you wanted, Gail?
Yes, that's lovely. Very effective.
So I did it right then. And again, soften in now. There. Because you don't want the shadow to be too strong, but you're just shadowing the hill slightly. There.
That's really nice. Right, good.
Right, good. Now, I've got that muddy bit there. So I'm going in with raw umber. Still with my 3/4 inch brush. Bit of raw umber with a bit of water into it. And just, that's a little bit strong, that, isn't it?
Yes.
Bit of raw umber. That's better. Like so. And again, leave a little bit of your pre-stain shine through here and there. Muddy, mucky bit there. And tail that off, coming down here. There. That's quite a nice muddy bit. It's where the cows go through that, yeah.
Be them.
There. Now I've changed my number 8 round brush and raw umber again, but this time with a touch of Payne's grey into it. There. For these posts. And down there. And that. Dip in again. I missed out a gate post there, look. There. That was a deliberate mistake, Gail. See if you noticed, but you didn't.
I didn't, you're right. Good job you did.
Well, I knew I was doing all the way along, of course.
Oh, you're the artist.
And I've got your permission to say so.
Just this once.
Now, it's down there. With an angle on them, look. Because like I say, if you, when a gate's in that kind of position, straight in front of you like that, if you close the gate, you've just said don't come into the landscape. Open that gate and welcome the eye into the landscape. That was a bit poetic, that,
I was
wasn't
just
it?
thinking, poetic, yes. I know.
I can sing as well, you know. No, I'm not going to say that again.
We know.
And a bit there. And the last one there. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of Naples yellow just to the left-hand side, but I'm not going to fill the whole siding with Naples yellow because I've got my pre-stain showing through as well. Just in the darker spots there, look, like that. And a little bit on the top there. That'll do. Now, I was happy with that. What are you laughing at? I was happy with that, but Gail wasn't. So I'm going to have some wire there, like that. How's that, Gail?
That's better. It looks more like it's like a bit of a fence.
Okay.
The wire's attached to the tree, is it?
Just give me a break, will you? How's that?
Better.
Oh. It's thankful that it's Easter because I was going to swear. And a bit there. Is that better, Gail?
Yes.
You can live with that, can you?
Yes, now you've explained what's coming next.
Now, rough growth here. Not bushes as such, just a bit of rough, taller grass. Sorry, grass. A little bit of hooker's green and raw sienna. Hooker's green there. A lot of raw sienna. I'm just going to split that brush. Stipple on there like that. Bit more raw sienna, I think, yeah. Yeah, that's better. There. Does that make you happy now?
Yes, I just wondered where the rest of the fence went, that's all.
Well, it got lost in that bushy stuff.
Okay, fine.
Have a bit of that here as well. Split brush. Now, a little bit of burnt sienna, just burnt sienna. I'm not mixing it in with green, but again, split it. And just for the sake of Gail, I'll have a couple of posts sticking up above that bushy.
Excellent.
That makes you happy, does it?
That makes me very happy. Yes. They were missing. It's better. See, I'm standing back and looking at the bigger picture.
It's only a small picture, 16 by 12.
You know what I mean.
Now, a couple of sides of big foreground stuff. And then there'll be final shadows after that, and it's done. And I'm starting up again, hooker's green and raw sienna. Even more raw sienna this time. There. Now, a bit more green. Yep, that'll do nicely. And coming down here. Up to the muddy bit. And into the muddy bit, ever so slightly. And you notice I'm not painting straight in big swathes. I'm dabbing a little bit as well, getting a bumpy feel to the grass. Because it's not a lawn, it's a field. You see those little bits there? Mm-hmm. That's cow shit.
Very realistic, this picture.
Mm-hmm. And again, just filling in now. And down to the bottom. And again, up to the muddy bit. So the muddy bit's not standing proud, it's part of the grasses in the foreground. Bit more raw sienna there. That's better. And up to where that path kind of like tapers out. How's that go?
Lovely. It has the editorial seal of approval.
A what?
It's got the editorial seal of approval.
Oh, you're the editor as well, aren't you?
Editor, director, camerawoman.
Well, I do quite a bit of directing. Take the mother off quite a bit. It's directing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want a few touches of burnt sienna in there as well. Don't want much. Look, just dabbing on here and there. It's over here. It's all just a few dabs here and there. It's just kind of like stopping it being just a swathe of flat grass. A bit more interested in colour. I know what I mean by that, girl.
Good.
Sorry?
I said good, I'm glad you know what you mean.
Okay. Now, Hug's green and burnt sienna, nice and strong. Not burnt sienna in there. We'll have some tufty bits there, look. Remember years ago there was a tufty club. I was a member of the tufty club.
Really?
Yeah, used to get a magazine and everything. I knew the tufty song.
It's a squirrel, wasn't it?
It was a squirrel, yeah. I think it was in Woman's Realm or something.
I don't remember where it was, but I remember the squirrel.
It's amazing the things that come to mind when you're painting. All the rubbish that I can just spurt out. Few flicks there.
Painting release all that, does it?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't have predicted that Tufty would pop up.
Well, there you go. Now, final thing on that is a lot of shadow. And this is the same mix of shadow that I used on the hills. Deep violet, a little bit of blue, a little bit of Payne's grey. Just put that in there like that. Of course, these trees there would cast the shadow onto that middle distance field. A bit down there. Also, where this field ends here, and that one starts there, I'll drop a bit of shadow there as well. Now, I'm just going to soften that up slightly. There. You see what that does, girl?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little line there. Now, stronger shadow. And I need to touch the tree with that. A bit more Payne's grey into the shadow mix there, actually. Touch the tree with that there. And then drag that across. Now spread it out slightly. Just by dabbing on them. And again, from the posts. Just a little bit. And there. That's job done. Like I say, System 3 paints, Daler-Rowney System 3 acrylics, they're fabulous. There's a whole range of them. There's System 3 normal, there's System 3 heavy body, there's System 3 inks, there's System 3 fluid, there's loads of it. And it's fabulous. But the normal everyday System 3, this is what I'm using. And as you can see, they're quite big tubes, those. They're only £2.70 a tube on my website. So, you know, it's for nothing. Take advantage of it because they are beautiful, creamy substance. It just goes on beautifully. The brushes I've just used are, like I said, my Aquafine brushes. And I've used all four for this. My 1.5 inch brush for the sky, my 3/4 inch brush for a lot of the painting, number 8 round, and the number 4 rigger. And that's it. That's all of my brushes. That's all I use ever, not just for filming. So 4 brushes, System 3 paints. If you're going to paint System 3 or acrylics on paper, what I would always say is don't buy the acrylic paper, because I hate the stuff. It wobbles, and when you put a wash on, and then the surface comes off very simply, very easily with a few brush strokes, and then you've ruined it. Use your normal watercolour paper, and as you all know, I use Langton Rough, £140 weight, and I never pre-stretch. So you don't need a myriad of stuff. Stick to what you've already got, really. There's a couple of books on acrylics. Absolute Beginners in acrylics and Painting with System 3. And there's lots of projects throughout these books, full of projects. Let's have a quick flick through this. Look, loads of them. All stage by stage. And same with the other one, Painting with System 3 as well. Loads of projects. And the drawings in there as well. This one was Search Press's bestseller, The Absolute Beginners. So have a look at stuff on the website, charleshensart.com. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. And by the way, as I said earlier, when I was being sarcastic with Gail, as if, it's a 12 by 16-inch canvas, that one. So you don't need to go too big all the time. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. See you again soon. Bye-bye.